the SEC has retained CAA, the big agency, Hollywood talent agency, to market their CBS game of the week. Effectively, that's what they have to sell in the next couple of years and figure out who's going to buy it. Now, I wrote about this, and I hope you read it if you like sports media and business, about what a steal CBS has and about how CBS, in my opinion, has done a poor job of realizing the value that they have there and being a good partner. CBS is paying $55 million a year for the SEC game of the week and for the championship game, the SEC title game. Now, I asked you that question the other day when I talked about this, but I always enjoy seeing the responses on Facebook and Periscope Live. If you guys knew that the Rose Bowl sells for $80 million a year standing alone, would you rather have the SEC title game or the Rose Bowl? SEC title game or the Rose Bowl? Which would you rather have? CBS's SEC title game right now sells for $25 million less than the Rose Bowl does by itself, and that doesn't even include the first round draft pick across the board. Most of you are smart business people, and you are looking at this and you're saying the SEC title game is a no-brainer. You would much rather have that. That is indeed a de facto playoff game. And a playoff game right now costs about $200 million each. Okay? So you right now, CBS does, gets 14 SEC games of the week, including a couple of doubleheaders. They get a Friday game. They get a Saturday game during Thanksgiving, all of those things. And they get the SEC title game, which is crazy. And they get it for $55 million. Well, that deal is up in 4 years. CBS probably not going to be able to afford to re-up with the SEC. And so the CAA deal is designed to figure out how do we get top value. Fox will be bidding. NBC will be bidding. CBS will probably still bid, although it's unlikely they'll get it. ESPN will be bidding. That new John Skipper streaming service that just got all the Canelo fights, DAZN, however you pronounce it, DAZN, will be bidding. Maybe Amazon. Maybe Apple. Maybe, who knows, Google. Maybe Facebook. It's unclear what the tech market will look like and whether any of those companies will have jumped in. It's also unclear exactly how that property will be sold. Maybe they will sell the SEC championship game as a separate part now of the whole, or maybe they'll roll it all together. I think this package, if you take it out to market right now and you look at the overall value, maybe Netflix, although it's unlikely, and you look at the overall value, I think there's a pretty good chance that right now that property is worth $200 or $250 million. If that ends up happening, there is so much money to be made. An insane amount of money to be made off of this property, which is, I think, the most undervalued in all of sports right now. And so the decision to retain CAA to advise is about getting ready to take this out to market and figure out who is going to be the purchaser of this property going forward. So this is going to be a major play to figure out exactly what the value is going to be and how all of that will shake out. But this is a monumental moment. If you were setting out who's likely to get the SEC game of the week, I don't think that it's going to be ESPN, because I don't think that the SEC wants to go all in with ESPN, and ESPN has every other right. I think NBC will kick the tires over putting a pair together with the Notre Dame games. I think Fox is the favorite. I think Fox on Big Fox would like to take the game of the week from the SEC, put it on with their Big Ten, their Big 12, their Pac-12 games already, and build around that game. So I think if I were making a favorite right now, I would make Fox the favorite. But there's lots of moving parts in this game to figure out exactly where it should go. I think the chances of CBS retaining it are incredibly low. I'll just say that. I think the chances of CBS retaining this game are incredibly low. And so this, if you like sports media and business, this is a story that definitely should be followed. There are 4 years left on the CBS deal, but things get sold a couple of years out. So we're talking in the next 18 to 24 months, I think. There's also the possibility, and I think this is important to keep in mind, there's also the possibility that that the SEC could work out a new deal with a new partner. And if they did it, then maybe that deal could end for CBS early and it could start somewhere else new. So I think that it's a story that certainly is worth following, and it's a big deal. I've talked about it, I've written about it, and again, the moving parts happening here. If you're reading the tea leaves and paying attention, it was a big announcement today that CAA was being retained.